together we are Messy Marvelous. We write a blog that you can find at www.messymarvelous.com, and we focus on all kinds of relationships, and certainly you can find some things about romantic relationships, which is what we're talking about today.
So our next thing that we would like to really focus on is, what do you bring to the relationship? Because that's a really important piece. I think a lot of times in relationships, people are looking for what the other person brings to it. Or you get entertain me, keep me interested.
Yeah,
blah,
you're
blah.
so sweet. You make my life easier, which is good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But we want to focus on being your best self.
Right. So there are a lot, like I always blame all relationship ills on reality TV. So there's a difference between just dumping off the worst of you on your partner and then saying, but you get to have that because you love me, and that's enough.
I should be able to be my worst self with you because you love me and you're committed to me.
And you're supposed to love me, even if I'm a jerk about things.
Right. And so, of course, we all know that there are times and days and years maybe where we're not our best self. That is different from not monitoring your behavior and expecting another person to accept anything, like to accept your rage or to accept your, we just talked about, your abuse, or to accept an untreated mental illness that needs to be treated, or an untreated physical illness that needs to be treated. So acceptance is important, dumping not so much.
Right. And you do have to accept who your partner is.
Definitely.
The hope is that everyone is showing up as their best self, taking care of their health, that sort of thing. Also, this idea of living your values, keeping yourself interesting. It's one thing to say, oh, I value all these things, and then to spend all your time watching television or playing video games. And that's, for your partner, maybe not so interesting, but what do you value?
Yeah, I was going to say, what do you value? You might want to stop and think about that. Do you value friends? Do you value having integrity? Do you value being an honest person? Do you value being a reconciler, someone who brings people together? Do you value doing your best? So I think when you live your values, you show up with your best self.
Right. And you put your resources into that.
That's right.
If you really value those things.
That's
your time, your energy.
Yes.
Sometimes it's financial resources, but it's more of parts of you in a way.
And I think another part of being your best self, we already talked about kind of regulating your emotions, but it's also like to be an interesting person. Like, what are you bringing to this relationship? What are your hobbies? Y'all are music majors, so I know you got a lot of hobbies that have to do with music that take a lot of time. But what else do you bring? Do you have interests in reading or other kinds of music or athletics or nutrition or anything? It can be anything.
Spirituality.
You have to bring something to a relationship. You can't depend on the other person to hold a relationship up. So that brings us to part 2 of this, which is staying curious about your partner and being transparent. So Ray and I say often that curiosity is one of the most important traits for a partner. So how do you stay curious about this person that you're in a relationship with?
It's kind of like creating windows. How do you peek through the window and learn more about your partner, and how do you open up your windows so people can see you? So it's this exchange of information.
So do you ask good questions? Do you build a friendship with this person? Why do they feel how they feel? What's important to them? What is their relationship like with other people, with their family? If you see somebody sort of in a weird mood, to be able to ask, like, hey, really curious about what's going on with you today. What set you off? Or I noticed you had a weird look on your face when that person walked by, or you haven't seemed like yourself lately. Talk to me about it. So building that friendship and staying connected to the other person with a real deep sense of, I want to know you. I want to know who you are.
And I'm willing to share myself.
So part 2 is transparency,
the
right?
deep parts of myself,
Yes.
the vulnerable parts of myself, so that you know who I am backwards and forwards.
Yes,
you know?
which of course unfolds over time, but you know, being able to share feelings that are uncomfortable, being able to talk about something that, you know, wasn't your shining moment, or to talk about our failures as well as our successes.
Right.
And so I think that curiosity and transparency and being your best self are critically important to a healthy relationship.
And just knowing that these really important lifelong relationships develop over time.
Yes,
so,
yeah. So we hope that this has helped you today. We want to share our books with you. You want to take one? So this book is called Launch, and this is the Messy Marvelous Guide to Adulting. So this is exactly where you are in life, which is, how do I get the skills to be out there and make it in the real world, whether that's graduate school or in a job as soon as you get out of school. And so there are 11 skills in here for life in the real world.
And then this one is Love, a Guide to Life Partnering, another one of the Messy Marvelous Guides. And this one is a little bit longer, but you know, it's a lot longer. It's almost twice as long. But it really tackles all the different aspects of building a lifelong relationship. And so, you know, things like how to have hard conversations.
Yes.
Because life is going to send you circumstances for that.
How to choose a good partner, how to look for a good life partner. I have several friends of mine, therapists and ministers, who are now using this for pre-marriage counseling and are saying it has transformed the way they're doing that. So we're really proud of this book, can you tell?
Absolutely.
But we hope that you will be able to find these on Amazon. They're both on our website, and we hope they'll help you. And we'd love to hear from you. If there's something else you'd like us to talk about, or something that you found in the book, or if you have a group that's meeting with the books, we'd be happy to come talk.
And there's questions, discussion questions and resources, and you can get these also from your local independent bookseller. So hope that's helpful to you.
Good to meet with you. Thanks for the joy and the gift that you give to the world through your music.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, thanks.